This idea will fundamentally revolutionize society because it's so simple and everyone will want it to happen. The only problem is no one knows about it because I can't reach anyone because I've been censored. And it's not even any sort of grandiose new vision. It's something that I think there's been there all along, but people have been conditioned to think that it's implausible, intangible. Somehow it's just sort of blue sky thinking. It's just idealism. But what I say to these people is idealism becomes realism. Okay, so first of all, we have ideas, visions, dreams, and we make those things reality as part of the creative process, right? So what is this idea? Well, it's simply true freedom, not conditional freedom, not the freedom that we have right now, which is sort of illusory. It's a true freedom based on this notion that I'm talking about, which is that shelter, energy, food and water, those things should be basic human rights, and they should be freely provided to us from the comfort of our own homes through the integration of these more advanced housing units, which I'm proposing at newearth.land, which aren't even futuristic. They're all based on existing technologies, and that can all be checked out at newearth.land if you're interested in learning more. But I feel like it's just something that everybody would want to see happen, because no one wants to see suffering. No one wants poverty to persist, except for the political classes, who are the ones that actually maintain that. And yet we have been programmed in such a way to keep thinking that they're going to resolve it. And so therefore we've outsourced our power to the political class, and they just keep offering us these elections every few years, in which, of course, nothing changes. So until we change, we're not going to see any change manifest in the outside world. And so all it really involves is that we start to crowdsource land and then crowdsource these co-housing projects. And it could be done very simply. It could be done today, it could be done tomorrow, but it's not going to happen today or tomorrow because the reach isn't there yet. It's not yet sort of been born in the collective psyche how easy this could be. And it's sort of become off limits, this idea of true freedom. Like somehow, like you see all the other animals, these birds flying around, and you go into nature and they're living freely. But of course, we're living from a different level of consciousness. We need to learn to organize ourselves more effectively. And that's what it comes down to, really. We can use social media more wisely, and we can use our money more wisely to remove our dependence on it for survival. And so instead of us paying taxes where we're forced into doing it and we don't get anything in return, it's just sort of squandered on these vanity projects, these black projects. What I'm saying is, why don't we just, alongside that, also start to fund, £1 per month, perhaps, but from millions of people. This is a psychological shift, and now we can actually start building homes for people, not profit, you see. Whereas formerly it's always happening. Even affordable housing is not really affordable. It's sort of a joke term. Just 80% of market rate. No one can even afford that anymore, especially in the capital cities. In London, it's become a joke. So why don't we just simply use our money more wisely, and then we will quickly realize that we don't even need that. There's no intrinsic value in that money. It's not that we don't want it, it's that we don't physiologically need it, is what I'm saying here. And so once we have a society or an infrastructure architecturally that supports us and is born of abundance, this concept that we can be as abundant as we need to be, we'll quickly realize that, hey, yeah, okay, we still want to do these things that we need money for, or want, these wants ultimately, like, clothes, holidays, cars, and the rest of it. Yeah, we want those things and we can pay for those things. But if we actually fundamentally need it for our existence, like, I need to drink, I need to eat, I need to stay warm at night, those things surely have to be human rights. That should be the direction that society is moving in. So there's a video I posted last time, which was, what's the point in anything? Well, the point should be for us to be striving for positive change, striving towards something that we all want and becomes more meaningful in life. Once we have that level of freedom, we will begin to make social interactions that are far more meaningful to us, and we will live in a way that's much more conducive to well-being, as opposed to living in this rat race where we're just slaves to the wage. We're unfortunately these rent slaves, and we don't realize it because it's all we've ever experienced. It's just sort of being normalized that we have to live out our lives in this way, this sort of quiet desperation. But so quickly could it all change. And if the algorithm ever permits, which I doubt it will, then this idea would hopefully blossom into the collective psyche, and it would just happen instantly, just happen quickly, and they'd have more and more and more of them, because in the past we haven't had this level of digital connection internationally. It's been something that's probably the reason why it was so difficult in the past, and it's still difficult today because this sort of message doesn't get anywhere. It's all just sort of like, you know, you've got to be speaking from a different perspective, or you've got to be speaking on something that's not as meaningful, unfortunately, for, you know, this to not be censored, you know. So it's a difficult thing to try and get out into the world, but logistically now it's all there for us. It's there for the taking. Freedom is there if you want it, basically. So if that message resonates with you, do check it out in more detail, because I can't really run through everything here. newearth.land is the URL, but the temporary URL you can find in the description below, because like I said, I can't actually afford to keep the website running for the time being, because this has become my calling, and it's been a difficult, slippery slope for me to navigate. So yeah, hopefully though, something will you know, come up soon, and we can start to move towards more freedom in society, and we can, you know, we can be the ones that make that happen. So anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.